Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 5 of the Yellow Card Podcast. With me, as always, Chris Jones. This podcast is brought to you by Couch Guy Sports, couchguysports.com if you have not checked it out. Also, check out their merchandise at couchguysportshop.com. It is absolute fire, really good prices, excellent turnaround. You really shouldn't be missing it. You should really be at couchguysportshop.com right now. On today's episode, we couldn't get Jared Scally, but we're hoping to get Jared Scally at some point. Believe it or not, the guy is actually a soccer fan. He happens to be a big fan of these guys, Manchester United, who I'm sure will engage on conversations today. But anyways, it is what it is. As always with me, Chris Jones, as I mentioned previously. We'll be going over the English Premier League, a quick recap. Obviously, we got to talk Champions League. I mean, that draw was just intense.
That was a great draw.
And then we're going to get a little bit into a situation that we just can't avoid considering it is hitting every sport in the world, which is COVID-19. So, Chris, let's get this started. What do you think of the English Premier League this week? How are teams looking up? It's also almost October 5th, which teams are making big moves to make signs, signatures, and whatever they need to get to fortify their teams. So what are your thoughts going into Premier League week 4, I believe that we're in?
Match day 4, and yep.
So what are your thoughts, man? What do you think?
Again, I feel like we say this every week. Everything just looks so good. Especially James Rodriguez looked fantastic yesterday against Brighton. He had 2 goals and an assist. And then, we praise these guys too also every week. Leeds United, drawing with Man City. We understand that Man City is a little hurt at the moment, but Leeds has come into the Premier League this year, and they're making a statement. They're currently sitting at 6th in the table, which is, wild to think about.
Yeah.
We have Man United versus Tottenham today, which should be a very, very good game.
Oh, yeah.
This would be probably the last game for them without Edison Cavani, who they recently just signed. Good signing, by the way, up front.
Yeah.
Earlier today we had West Ham upset Leicester City 3-0. I picked, when I did my predictions, I had West Ham in the middle of the table. Right now they're currently sitting at 8. Leicester's still sitting at 2 because they've played the most games. I think they're 3-0-1.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. And then Arsenal again today looked very good. Like, there's, again, some dominant teams in this league this year that, people are going to have to look out for. And then Chelsea looked like how Chelsea, I think, is going to look like the rest of the season against Crystal Palace.
Mm-hmm.
They just dominated from start to finish in that one.
Yeah.
Just looking at the table real quick, looking at, with 2 games left of match day 4, we got Everton in first with a 4-0-0 record. Leicester is in second with a 3-0-1 record. Liverpool's in third with a 3-0-0 record. Arsenal's fourth with 3 record. Chelsea and then 1. The 4 match days so far. What is the one surprising story or the surprising team in an aspect that you didn't expect where they're at in the table right now? What are you most surprised about?
So I'm definitely surprised with, as you said, Leeds United. I'm actually pleasantly surprised with Newcastle. Newcastle, I don't know if you remember back in late 1990s, almost early 2000s. But Newcastle was a force to be reckoned with. They had a very good team and have always had that big legacy. I don't know if anybody here who's watching today or at home listening to this podcast episode, I don't know if you guys remember back in the day there was a movie called Goal, in which the protagonist of that movie actually signs with Newcastle and changes the history of that team for a while. So it's pleasantly surprising to see Newcastle in 7th right now. Granted, it's only 4 games that they have played. Some of the other teams are still behind in games for the league. You look at teams like Tottenham, who's 1 game behind, Manchester United, who's 2 games behind. You look at Burnley, who's 3 games behind as well. So, there's still a lot of football to be played. However, I am over the top happy to see a team like Everton, who were just pretty much scratched off the surface of the earth um, before even Carlo Ancelotti came in. And this guy, I mean, I don't know if anybody saw the after the game recap with the players, but even somebody like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who has been a staple for Everton for a while, he even said these guys came in and changed the chemistry in the team for the better. And we're all, even though we're all still getting to know each other, we're still lining up strategically, and we all get along really well. When you have a team with that chemistry going into the first 4 games of a very dynamic league as it is the English Premier League, I mean, the sky's the limit for these guys. Of course, you got to watch out for injuries. You got to watch out for red cards. You got to watch out for trades that they could do before October 5th. So there's a lot still going on. But I really think Carlo Ancelotti has taken a big challenge with Everton and has turned it around hardcore. Liverpool looks really good. The only surprising part there, too, is Thiago coming out with COVID-19. That has put a tamper into whatever plans they may have. I'm surprised with Arsenal's weak performances as of late. Seeing them struggle against a Sheffield United that, I'll admit it, they have a solid defense, but their midfield game is not that strong. I was kind of surprised to see them walk away with only a 2-1. I was really expecting Arsenal to be far better than that. They still won. Great, congratulations. Then you get into somebody like Crystal Palace as well. Yeah, they're 11th in the table, but they still are so young and have so much soccer to play that team, if better managed, could actually be top 10 this year, without a question. Wolves, I don't know what they did, but, well, I know what they did. They let go of Diogo Jota, and that just has proven to be a struggling force for Wolves. They should have walked all over Fulham like nothing. And to walk away with a 1-0 score this week, I was like, what is that? Did the refs pretty much give it to you away, basically? Like, what is that? Because Fulham doesn't have much to play with. Granted, they're another young team with the youngest coach in the whole entire league. I get that. But where you are a team that is not well-funded, is not set up for success, you're going to struggle right from the get-go, to basically walk away losing 1-0 to what is supposed to be one of the better teams in the English Premier League, that almost sounds like a win rather than a lose.
That's a big win for Fulham today.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm kind of surprised. I'll admit it. I'm kind of concerned going into this match today against Tottenham. Mourinho does really well with big teams, man. He does. He struggles against the little ones, but when it's the big teams, he's good. He's solid. So I expect to either lose or end up tied today. I really do. I'm excited to see Cavani join in Manchester United. That's a big one, especially if they line up in a 4-4-2 formation where they can put Cavani and Martial up front. That'll be awesome. But until they don't get the wingers that they need, I don't know how much more Manchester United is going to go from here. I really don't know. I thought the Donny van de Beek signing was great, but yes, he had to start. And the only time that he started was at the Carabao Cup. That makes no sense. It's the same with Dean Henderson. The guy has started 2 starts, 2 clean sheets. Why are you starting David De Gea then? The guy has been a slop. And talking about slops, Jordan Pickford yesterday, for example, absolute slop. That one goal that they got on him was nothing but his error. Absolutely nothing by his error. So, again, there's the really big signings that teams are making, but there is concerns, I think, all around really on defenses and goalies. Goalies are just not performing to the levels that they need to be performing, especially big names. Jordan Pickford, for example, in the World Cup, the guy was absolute nuts. He was easily one of the goalies that was the hardest to score on.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go into a David De Gea that performed really well in the English Premier League, but he absolutely sucked in the World Cup.
Yep.
The guy was nothing in the World Cup. And then you see little names like David Ospina from Colombia actually be really goddamn good. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't expect much of him, to be honest with you, because before the World Cup, I had barely heard of him. I barely had seen him, and I was like, yeah, all right, he's solid, but I didn't think he was the starting goalie for Colombia. But hey, he proved me wrong, and that was awesome. But anyway, so that's the English Premier League. Now let's get into the nitty and gritty of this episode, which is the Champions League. That draw was an absolutely insane draw. This is literally the draw of the Battle of the Titans, basically, for me. I think it's hilarious to see that. Not just hilarious, but I don't know. I'm struggling to find the word. It's insane how good of a draw this was. We should be expecting the absolute best Champions League football we have seen in about 5-6 years ago. We really should be expecting the best. So let me share the screen with you guys real quick. I have the groups formed already by, the Champions League website. Chris, you and I, let's tackle this real quick and let's see who we think is going to survive out of each group. And then we'll make our bold predictions of who we think could win the Champions League this year. So let me just 1 second. I'm going to share the screen here. Let's see here. It's not going to allow me to do that. Okay. Let me see here. Perfect.
There it is.
All right. So, Chris, can you see the Champions League draw on your screen?
Yep.
All right, perfect. So, Group A, we got Bayern Munich, Atletico, Salzburg, and Lokomotiv Moscow. Then we got Group B, Real Madrid, Shakhtar, Inter Milan, and a team that I'm not even going to bother pronouncing that name.
Which one? The bottom one?
Yeah.
Mönchengladbach.
Hey.
Perfect.
My respects to you.
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Right?
There it is.
Group C is Porto, Manchester City, Olympiacos, and Marseille. Then Group D, Liverpool, Ajax, Atlanta, and Midland, I think it's called. Then Sevilla, Chelsea, Krasnodar, and Rennes. Group F is Zenit, Borussia Dortmund, Lazio, who just actually got Andres Pereira on loan from Manchester United, and Club Braga. Then Group G, this is where the nitty and gritty gets actually really interesting. We have an intense matchup between Juventus and Barcelona, Dynamo Kiev, and Ferencváros, I think that's called. Then you got Group H, a rematch of PSG versus Manchester United, Leipzig, and Istanbul, whatever their name is. So, Chris, real quick, Group A, who do you see coming through?
So I feel like Group A is one of the harder ones out of this. But obviously, so I think that Salzburg and Lokomotiv Moscow are going to give Atletico and Bayern Munich a run for their money in their games.
Huh.
But I do see Bayern Munich and Atletico Madrid both coming out of that. I see in the two matchups that Bayern plays Atletico, I see Bayern winning one of them and then drawing the other one. So I'm going to say Bayern finishes up top, Atletico 2, Lokomotiv Moscow 3, and Salzburg 4.
All right. My opinion is Atletico ends first, Bayern Munich second, Salzburg in third, and Lokomotiv Moscow 4. The reason why I chose Atletico over Bayern Munich is because I think Atletico actually wins the first game by surprise against Bayern Munich, wins Salzburg, and then ties against Lokomotiv, while Bayern Munich could easily lose. Could easily tie against Salzburg, win against Lokomotiv, tie Atletico, and then lose Atletico. So that's what I'm thinking that. Group B, this is an interesting group as well. What are your thoughts?
Again, so this is where I'm coming into play here. I do think that Real Madrid's going to win the table. The group, I should say. Excuse me. And then, actually, I have Borussia Mönchengladbach finishing second in the table. Inter third, Shakhtar Donetsk at 4.
Huh. What do you say that?
So, Borussia, because this is another Borussia team, their defense at times can be very, very solid. Having Jan Sommer in goal is definitely a big help for them. And then Matthias Ginter is also always a very good defender for them. And they have a sneaky good team. They were very when they came back during the restart, they were very sneaky. They were very sneaky good. And they could easily be a force to be reckoned with. And I think that Inter's going to struggle with them very much so.
See, I think otherwise. I think Shakhtar could be second.
Oh.
And Inter goes first.
Okay.
The reason I say this is because Real Madrid is going to have an intense time dealing with somebody as built as Romelu Lukaku up front, who can easily take Sergio Ramos and just pile him in dirt like nothing. Rafael Varane is not going to be able to compete against Romelu Lukaku. That's just a given. Then you got their midfield game as well. You have a dangerous Arturo Vidal, who can get extremely physical. And their midfield game is not a physical one by any means. I'm talking about Real Madrid. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure that Hazard is going to come back and be able to be in full form. So I really think that actually Real Madrid could see themselves being gone out of the group stages right from the get-go.
Yeah, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt just because of how much of a powerhouse that they are. But I won't be surprised by it. But I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt in this situation at this very moment.
Okay.
So, real quick before we go on, Bruno Fernandes is lined up in the penalty box, shooting a penalty as we are recording, and he scores 1-0 Manchester United.
Let's go. I'm not even watching. I'm trying to focus before I start screaming over here.
What was it? Rashford was in the box. Aurier tripped him in the ground, got the penalty. Fernandes just with a clean strike to the right side. Hugo Lloris had not a chance. So 1-0 in the second minute.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
Let's get back into the Champions League.
Yes. So anyways, speaking of groups, Group C is also very interesting because anytime that Olympiacos has been in the Champions League, they've always been a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, they caused some issues.
And so has Marseille.
So this
one should also be the group of death. I mean, I get it. The group H is the group of death.
Yeah,
but I don't see why Group C wouldn't be it either.
It's like the second or like third hardest one. But for me, out of Group C, it's going to be Man City at 1. I'm going Marseille at 2. I think Mandanda is just going to hold down the 4 for them, and they're just going to continue to be as good as they are. I'm going to say Porto finishes 3 and Olympiacos is 4. But it's going they're all those games are just going to be so good and so interesting.
That's going to be some of the best football play too. I agree. My opinion is Porto first, Marseille second, Olympiacos third, and Manchester City fourth.
Oh. Whoa.
Unless Manchester City can manage to get another forward that's going to help Sergio Aguero or Raheem Sterling in the case of injury, which could easily happen with Sergio Aguero.
Which what we have right now at this very moment.
Exactly. I do not see Manchester City being a competing team. I know people are going to be like, wow, you goddamn harsh. It's Manchester City. They have the best coach in the world, in my opinion. They should be better stacked than what they are this year, in my opinion. Then you got Liverpool, Ajax, Atalanta, and Midtjylland. I think that's easy. That's Liverpool and Atalanta right off the get-go, or even Ajax and Atalanta.
I think Ajax is going to make it hard on them. I think Liverpool does.
By Tottenham.
I was waiting for you to talk. It was a very bad clear by Maguire and Bailey in the defensive back.
That was all his fault. That doesn't even.
And Dembele scores with the 4th minute. So we're legit less than 5 minutes in Manchester United and Tottenham. It's already 1-1.
It's gonna be an insane game. It's gonna be an insane game.
So we'll go back to Group D real quick as we're getting distracted. Yeah. I think Liverpool's going to win the group. Atalanta is going to finish 2nd. Ajax 3rd. Midtjylland 4th. Ajax is going to be tough, but their loss of Hakeem Ziyech, I think, is going to prove dividends big time. And Donny van de Beek.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be a big issue for them.
I don't know what it is about Ajax, but they are so good at getting Norwegian players. Mm-hmm. They are just so goddamn good. Every single time, every single year, they manage to get the next Norwegian prospect.
Yep.
And it's insane. I don't get it. Kudos to them. Honestly, kudos, because their whole entire thing about forecasting futures it's really, really good. I just don't get it every year.
Yeah, there's always something that they're always getting it out of it.
Every year. Now we have Sevilla, Chelsea, Krasnodar, and Rennes. That is an obvious one. If Sevilla and Chelsea don't make it out of that group, I don't know what the hell happened there, because Sevilla is strong as hell. They have not slowed down at all.
Sevilla played Bayern Munich very tough in the Super Cup.
Even, I don't know if you heard the post-game interview, but even Robert Lewandowski was like, we expected to stomp all over them. We couldn't get past their defense.
Yeah.
And Ocampos, that guy is a warrior. Why he's not on a bigger team right now to be given a chance is beyond me.
Don't be surprised if Man United looks at him if they can't get Jadon Sancho or anybody else.
Manchester United's looking at everyone and anybody, but until the Woodward and Blazers could get together and one.
Another goal by Tottenham, 2-1. Son puts it in. We're 7 minutes into the game. We already have 3 goals as we're recording.
I haven't even seen the goal. Yeah.
It's just a. So he calls a foul. Ref calls a foul. Tottenham gets a quick.
Hang on. It's coming up to the play. It's coming up to the play on my phone. Sorry. But anyways, let's continue. Let's continue in Group F. Our audience deserves our full attention. So, Group F, Zenit, Borussia Dortmund, Lazio, and Club Braga. That is another insane group. They are insane. I don't get it. like I said earlier, this is the best football we're gonna see in the Champions League.
I think I think this is the easiest group that I could pick out of. I think Dortmund, Lazio 1-2, Club Brugge 3, and then Zenit 4.
But it's Zenit. Zenit has always been one of those quiet teams that just gives everyone a run for their money.
That's just my opinion.
That goal was all De Gea's. All De Gea's fault. All De Gea's fault. The amount of open space that he left coming out of that net onto somebody like Heung-min Son. Oh, good God. Why Henderson isn't starting in net is beyond. It is beyond.
See, you guys can literally see the struggle of the Manchester United fans live and in person as we go over the Champions League.
It is. I'm sitting in a very comfortable chair. I'll be the first one to admit it. My ass hurts right now watching this game. My ass hurts. It is ridiculous. I can't stand David De Gea anymore.
Give me your two teams that you think are going to come out of Group F, and then who finishes third and fourth.
So I think Lazio first, Dortmund second, Zenit third, Braga fourth.
Okay.
Group G.
Ooh.
Clash of the Titans.
Woo!
Leo Messi.
It's about time.
Leo
They've
Messi
been trying to
and
plan
Ronaldo.
this for years. They've been trying to plan this for years. They haven't gotten the chance to do it. Messi versus Ronaldo in Champions League football. This is what they need. This is what they want.
The world's about – if 2020 wasn't ugly enough, 2021 is going to come out to be a very nasty one as well, especially in the world of football. These two going head-to-head with obviously very good teams. I mean, you got Juan Cuadrado, who is creating plays for Cristiano Ronaldo left and right. The guy has as much liberty in the midfield right now as James Rodriguez has it for Everton. Then you got a Paulo Dybala who is still developing really strongly. And you got Mario Mandzukic up front. Holy crap. But then you got Barcelona with Philippe Coutinho, who is going through a very good moment in his career. Lionel Messi, who we obviously know who he is. And Ansu Fati, who is a young kid thriving in a very good league. Again, though, anything could happen to this kid. He's not properly fit. He's fast, but he's not properly fit. If he takes a hard tackle, he could get his career ruined. And that could happen in Champions League. Especially against a Dynamo Kiev, who is extremely powerful team.
So what do you think is going to finish in this table here?
I think it stays as it is right now. Juventus first, Barcelona second, Dynamo Kiev third, and Ferencváros, whatever the hell you call them, fourth.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you there. This is going to be a rematch of the 2015 Champions League final. Obviously, we know what happens. 3-1, 3-1 Barcelona in that aspect. That was a very rough day for me.
That was a hard one as well.
But then, since then, you got to look at it. Like they've faced before, they faced since in the Champions League. They faced in the quarterfinals in 17. Juventus beat them 3-0. And then they faced in Group D 2018, and Barcelona beat them 3-0. So it's not the same Barcelona team, so I can't. Plus, I'm a Juventus guy, so I'm riding Juventus. My Lord and Savior, Andrea Pirlo, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it this year. We're going to win the Champions League this year, and I can't wait for it. I love our draw in Group G as of right now.
I can honestly tell you that Chris has been waiting to say the Lord and Savior line for the longest time.
Oh, do you have no
5
idea?
episodes and then some.
You have no idea. My Lord and Savior, Andrea Pirlo. All right, let's go.
Group H. Group H.
This is my group of death.
It's everyone's group of death, but this is very interesting.
PSG, Man United, RB Leipzig, and Istanbul. I can't say it.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna bother either.
But Istanbul best Shakir.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever Chris says goes. All right, that's great.
You're supposed to be the pronunciator one.
Yeah, good
Not
luck.
me.
Good luck. But Paris Saint-Germain versus Manchester United, we already have history on this one. And then you have, you had Ander Herrera leave Manchester United and go to Paris Saint-Germain. You got Angel Di Maria leave Manchester United and go to Paris Saint-Germain. Then when Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester United met for the first time in a long time, Di Maria was given hell so badly that Ashley Young at one point during the game pushes him out of bounds into a very well-built fence. This could have cost Angel Di Maria the game in his career. So this is going to be an incredibly nasty match to watch. Then now Manchester United is finally getting the payback that they've been dying to do. Not only did they classify through the group stage by beating Paris Saint-Germain at the last minute with a penalty in the previous Champions League, but now you got their best scorer, Edison Cavani, who is rumored to have hated the living hell out of Neymar.
It's so
coming to a Manchester United who is craving to win a Champions League for the longest time. You can't say that these two teams like each other. They hate the hell out of each other. It is as neutral as it can be. It is as sincere as it can be. The hate is just as bad as the Bruins against the Canadians, as the Patriots against the Buffalo Bills, as the Celtics against the Lakers. I could go on and on and on.
And it's so funny you say it because they don't play each other regularly.
They don't. But every time that they play each other, they hate the crap out of each other.
And I love it. I love it so much.
It is such a physical game.
Also, one comment I want to make is I remember when that Cavani was locked in with Porto. Do you think he was waiting until the group came out before he finally made his decision on where he wanted to play Champions League soccer this year?
I think he was waiting for Manchester United to make a pitch because and I don't blame him. Manchester United, every time that a big-ticketed player comes around and is available, they're always in the fight for him. Look at Jadon Sancho, for example.
Yep.
But they never managed to get across the finish line. Once, though, they were speedy, and Woodward realized that all he got was shots at it was telling him the truth and saying that I need an attacker. And like I said in the previous episode, Anthony Martial is just not that guy yet. He's talented, I'll agree with you, but he's not that guy. He struggles to control the ball and he struggles to be physical, which is something that Edison Cavani is going to compliment him hardcore once he comes into the Premier League. Just watch. The first game that they play together, you can easily see that. It's going to be a world of a difference. However, Porto being a Portuguese league where, the scope is good for them in terms of prospecting, but the Portuguese league isn't in a higher scale as like the English Premier League is, as like the French league is, and as like the Spanish league is. Mm-hmm. So I think because he realizes he's got so much more soccer to play, he wanted to stay somewhere where he can still get the attention that everyone should be paying attention to.
So I think my issue with him is he legit, like, Leeds United was all in on trying to get him.
Yeah.
The entire summer, Leeds United. And Cavani's big issue was he wanted to play Champions League soccer, and that's why he didn't sign with Leeds United. Yes. So, again, this is where I look, and the Cavani news dropped yesterday, the day before, a couple days ago, after the group stage tables have already come out. So I think both sides came together and say, look, we understand your hatred. Let's work together and let's kill him. Let's kill him. And I think that's what happened. And I think that's what we're currently witnessing. And I think that he's coming in with the mission of, I want to make sure that we absolutely destroy PSG every time we play them. That's what's going to happen, I think.
I see this whole entire Cavani episode basically playing out the same way as like when Carlos Tevez was with Manchester United. He came into Manchester United for money and money only, as he knew that he needed a future.
Mm-hmm.
Then he stabbed Sir Alex Ferguson in the back.
Yep.
Decided to be a scumbag and leave for Manchester City without even telling the group that he had been prospected by Manchester City.
Mm-hmm.
The team didn't even know. He made it look like he was so happy with Manchester United. He goes to Manchester City all of a sudden.
Yep.
Nobody knows why. Nobody knows why. And then he does the same exact thing to Manchester City and goes to West Ham. Now you look for Carlos Tevez, and the guy's like, barely has anything going for him. You're better off picking up one of the kids playing at your local soccer field than watching Carlos Tevez.
So real quick, who do you think is going to win Group H? Who do you think second, third, and finishing last?
I say, interestingly enough, Leipzig first, Manchester United second. And then obviously Paris Saint-Germain and Istanbul.
Wow. Little shocked by it, not gonna lie.
Leipzig is just real good, and their defense is still with Upamecano staying with them.
I don't know how much longer he stays there though. That's the issue.
Well, that's if Manchester United finally decides to be a wrecking force and decides to pull them out of there.
So my issue is I'm leaving the group as it is on the screen. I think PSG wins it, Man United second, Leipzig third, and Istanbul Başakşehir fourth. I had to throw in the little sauce in there.
Oh my God, that is wild. All right,
so real quick,
I'm sorry, folks, for any of you listening to this episode. I don't know what Chris Jones is on. I don't know how much he had to drink last night. But his pronunciation is so far off the game that I'm just like, folks.
I'm legitimately trying to pronounce these names, and it's just not happening. All right. So the round of 16, we have who we think is going there. Obviously, we won't know what those draws will be until December 14th.
Right.
And then we won't know the quarterfinals and the semifinals until March 19th.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to stop sharing the screen because at this point we just need to make our predictions.
Mm-hmm. Right. So
who do you see going into quarterfinals, and who do you see winning the Champions League this year?
So my quarterfinals predictions, I have. Hold on, as I am currently waiting to get mine up on the screen. There it is. Okay. I think our quarterfinals, we're going to get Bayern Munich. We're going to get Chelsea. We are going to get Bayern Munich, Chelsea. Juventus, that's 3. PSG 4, Liverpool 5. Atlantia 6. For Russia, Dortmund 7. And I'm going to go Sevilla 8. Okay. Those are my 8 teams in the quarterfinals right now.
So I'm gonna go with Bayern Munich. I'm gonna go with Porto. Gonna go with Manchester United, of course. Sevilla as well. Juventus. That's 5. Let's see. See Borussia Dortmund as well. That's 6. Who else do I see? Let's see. Inter Milan in there as well.
I don't know, man. I don't think they got out of the group stage.
And I see let's see, who else do we see? Oh, and Liverpool. Of course. Mm-hmm. There's no way Liverpool doesn't make it to the semifinal. But I do think that if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer manages to get this team to the status that he wants to get. Let's say he definitely gets in the next 24 hours Jadon Sancho to go in, and
Yep.
he reinforces that midfield game with him in there and Edison Cavani. I actually think that Manchester United has the potential to go into the final of a Champions League. I really do.
Potential, absolutely. I'll agree with you there 100%. But
I would love to see a final, though, of Juventus versus Manchester United.
I think
And
I
the
think
reason why I say this,
I think both of us would, solely based on this podcast, because I can literally see the podcast before the Champions League final. It's literally Juventus versus Man United. You literally got Diego and Jared Scally, Man United fans. You got me. You got BSB, Juventus fans. Oh, dude, that would be a show and a half.
That would be an intense show to. Yes, I
That would be a
absolutely
show and a
agree.
half.
I absolutely agree. The reason why I really want to see Juventus versus Manchester United though is number one, Ronaldo was given his career by Manchester United.
Yep.
After a friendly game against Sporting Lisbon that was supposed to be just a friendly, and then ended up being more of prospected by Sir Alex Ferguson. But I also want to see Bruno Fernandes face his mentor, which was Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo had a lot of play in Bruno Fernandes coming into Manchester United.
Big story writing.
That had nothing to do with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That had nothing to do with the club having money. That had everything to do with Cristiano Ronaldo. And anybody that tells you otherwise is a fool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a goddamn fool. But I also want to see a battle between two intense forwards like Mario Mandzukic and Edison Cavani.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see Dean Henderson get the opportunity of his lifetime to be able to go into a bigger team than Manchester United. Because I really think this kid has so much talent behind the net that David De Gea is just simply robbing away from him at this point. Because De Gea has not proven to be that guy. He just hasn't. It's like saying that Thibaut Courtois deserved to stay at Real Madrid over Keylor Navas. Anybody that tells you that, it's a goddamn fool. Keylor Navas has proven everything with PSG repeatedly in many occasions. Real Madrid fans are just not willing to confess that because of their ego. I'm a Real Madrid fan, and I'll tell you flat out, having signed Thibaut Courtois was the stupidest mistake Real Madrid could have done, besides letting go of Alvaro Morata and James Rodriguez.
I think my final right now, I think we're going to get Juventus. And I think we're going to get Bayern Munich again.
That would be another.
I think we're going to get Juventus Bayern Munich in the final. I think it's what we're leaning towards.
That would be an insane final too. I mean, it could easily be two Barcelona versus Liverpool. Leo Messi versus Mo Salah. Everybody's been dying to watch that.
Yeah.
You know, but again, there is so much good football expected out of the Champions League right now that I can't wait until October 22nd, I believe, which is the first match in the Champions League. I can't wait for that date to come by. However, something that is very important for all of these leagues, continuing to be very important right now, is the health and safety of all of these players. We've watched it happen in the NBA. We've watched it happen in football right now, in American football. And we watched it happen in baseball. An outpour of COVID-19 cases. It just seems like America continues to struggle with handling COVID-19. I get it. There is so much going into that. But Europe has actually done a really good job at controlling what's been going on, at least in the sports end of things. I know that Spain is seeing an outburst of COVID-19 cases again. Same with other countries. But in the sports side of things, Europe has actually contained in a very good manner what they're doing with COVID-19. So, Chris, in your perspective, if, let's say, a vaccine comes out by December 31st of this year, do you see fans back into stadiums as of January or February? And do you see a potential outburst of COVID-19 cases happening in European soccer? What are your
Um,
thoughts?
I think for European soccer, I think we're not going to get fans back in the stadiums till at least the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
Wow. Okay.
At least the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I think they're going to be very.
I mean, it's realistic, but
They're going to be very cautious in their approach, and I do think that we will see fans for the final this year in Istanbul. But
oh, that's agreeable. Yeah.
I just don't see them just changing over, because I do think the cases are going to go up a little bit in the next couple of weeks, actually. But I do see a vaccine happening, and I do see potential for the virus to slowly fade out. But also, too, I think the big issue here is that I think the Champions League already has Plan B into effect, just in case the virus is to what's the word I want to look for, to happen, or to spread out more again, and for them not to cancel as much as they did. So I feel like they already have backup plans put into place, so they can play football no matter what. I think they're ready this time, but at the same time, who knows?
So I don't know if you guys saw, but I was a little distracted here as well. I was listening to Chris, but I was a little distracted here. The VAR here should really come into play with this red card. And I don't understand why both players were not let go of the game. They both incited behavior that should not be in soccer right now. I don't understand it. So now Manchester United is absolutely screwed. You got a way too passive of a coach in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. If that was Mourinho, or if that was even Pochettino, rest assured that those two coaches would have made themselves be let go of the game until they put up their good fight. So I'm just, regardless, I agree with part as to what Chris was saying. I think unfortunately we will not see a vaccine at the end of this year, even though it appears to be otherwise. But again, the Europeans have really managed to handle this very well. So in terms of the vaccine coming out, I don't think it really has anything to do with the fans coming back into the stadiums. I think there could be a development phase in which we finally have fans into the stadiums, but it's going to be about like a 20 to 30% capacity in majority of stadiums, with certain areas not fully filled, obviously, but with certain areas having fans, other area not having one, other area having fans, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Do I see the Champions League having the Champions League final having fans? Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't see it otherwise. But just as COVID-19 is important to be controlled and whatnot, I think it also benefits financially these teams if they get fans back. Because right now, all these investments that all these teams are making are from years and years and years of money savings and whatnot. But we all seen how those savings work. They only last for so long. And until you don't have a financially stable system for all these teams to work on, you're going to need the fans back in the stadiums. So I don't know. It's good to see it very well managed, but what is their financial gain at this point? because these teams are going to rely on financial help, whether it's governmental or whether it's having fans back in the stadiums. They're going to need it. They really are going to need it. So, but anyways, who knows? We're not magicians. We don't have a crystal ball here. And if we do.
I wish I was. I'd be a fucking millionaire if that was the case.
Well, yeah, you with your chases. I mean, as it is, you're predicting left and right all over the place with your units. I'm like, what the hell?
It's been a rough week though. It's been a rough week,
and I think it's going to continue to be a rough one moving forward too.
We'll find out. That happens.
But hey, who knows? Either way, episode 5, ladies and gentlemen, it's here. This is your content. Please, if you have suggestions, if you have comments, if you want to take part of an episode, please let us know. We're always willing to be challenged, not only on our soccer knowledge, but also on our soccer opinions. We're not perfect, and we're not meant to be perfect, but we want to hear your input. We definitely want to hear your input. Continue to follow Chris on his Chases podcast. The guy is, like I said, killing it. He's really good with the sports betting thing. I don't understand half of it. I don't want to understand half of it because my brain only functions in certain forms.
It'll hurt.
It'll definitely hurt. I'll be walking around with a helmet and a hard hat on top of that, just because I've had several concussions in my life. I don't want another one.
You definitely don't need that.
Please follow our content on couchguysports.com. Follow every Tuesday and every Saturday. There is plenty of soccer content added onto that, whether it's Manchester United. This weekend, I couldn't avoid it. James Rodriguez is just too good of a story to avoid at this point. Even if he was – the guy could really be an Indian soccer player, and I would be writing about him. You just can't deny talent. You can't. If this was Christian Pulisic playing for Chelsea, I know how talented the guy is.
Oh, I'd be writing all about him.
I'd be writing about him. You just can't.
He's the future of America. Put some respect on his name.
Oh, I agree. I absolutely agree. James Rodriguez, though, it's a story too good to avoid, though. As I said, the guy was amazing in his first year at Real Madrid. They quickly shut down after that. Why? Because the coaches didn't like attitude? So what? Deal with it. You're old. Deal with it. Bayern Munich, the same exact thing. And now he's coming into Everton, and he is making everyone a fool for their money. And
He's already doubled his final season at Real Madrid output in 5 games
in 5 games.
The amount
of assists, the amount of goals that this guy is already scoring. I just can't wait to see him in the national team. I really can't wait to see him. This national team is about to be insane as well. So, anyways, that's that. Chris, anything you would like to add, my brother?
Just make sure you guys are following everything. Follow the socials, follow Couch Guy Sports.
Yes,
go to the
please.
shop, get a nice looking hat like Diego's got on right now. Get some joggers, some shirts. There's plenty of apparel coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And as always, please, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Thank you for following us on SoundCloud, on Twitter. Please continue to do so. Without you, we wouldn't be here. Again, thank you very much. Episode 5, ladies and gentlemen, with Diego Galvez and Chris Jones. Thank you once again.